Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is finally here, but is it worth buying? Is it worth playing? Or is it worth skipping? The answer to that question really will depend on who you are as a gamer, and I'll be here to help you figure that out. Now, before I get into all of the new features that make Black Ops 6, in my opinion, one of the best Call of Duty games in recent years, I do want to add that this is still a Call of Duty game. So if you're bored of the core Call of Duty experience, it's likely nothing in Black Ops 6 is going to change that for you. Unless maybe you're a super big fan of round-based zombies, then stay tuned. But otherwise, yeah, it's still Call of Duty, even with a lot of changes. And if you're uncertain, or you're on the fence about whether to buy it or not, and you have enjoyed Call of Duty games in the past, but you're not sure you're going to get many hours out of Black Ops 6, you can always pick up a Games Pass subscription for 1 month, which is cheaper than buying the whole game, and you'll probably get a decent amount of fun out of it without splashing for the whole game price. This could be a good idea if you're a Warzone player that doesn't usually enjoy Call of Duty, but you want to jump in and try Black Ops 6 before all of the new Warzone stuff. Now, if you have enjoyed any Call of Duty games over the past 5 or 6 years, or enjoyed the core zombies round-based experience from older Black Ops titles, you'll probably get a lot out of Black Ops 6. So let's break down what's special about this game, why it's enjoyable, and the moments that you'll enjoy for sure. So let's start with multiplayer, what's new there, and then we'll take a look at zombies. So one of the biggest things in Black Ops 6 is omnimovement. It's 360-degree movement whilst you're jumping, diving, swimming, and all that stuff. So instead of having sort of limited ability to move whilst in the air, you can do all manner of directions. Basically, you can look in any direction, and it makes movement feel really fluid, actually. Call of Duty's always gone back and forth with different movement mechanics, but in my opinion, this version of Black Ops 6 makes movement feel the most fluid it has ever felt. It feels super fast paced, and even when you're sort of not doing great in the game, the new movement really makes you feel like you're running at a fast pace, and it just adds action to the game that otherwise wouldn't be there. It doesn't feel sluggish, it doesn't feel slow like past Call of Duty games. In my opinion, it's fun, fast paced, and that's how it always should be. Everything else about Call of Duty is pretty much the same it has been in recent years. The gun mechanics feel pretty familiar. The gameplay, besides the new Omni movement, is pretty much the same. And overall, you're gonna just jump in and feel right at home if you've played recent Call of Duty games. There isn't really much to say there in terms of like the core gun mechanics or anything like that. Of course, there's different score streaks, new perks, and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty fun, and that's tied into the new progression systems. And I think they did a really good job with progression in Black Ops 6. Firstly, prestiges are back. You have 10 main prestiges, and then you also have a master prestige, which I think goes all the way up to level 1000. So there's a lot of grinding to do. And what's great is all of these prestiges and all of the leveling has a lot of cosmetic unlocks for you, whether it's camos or operator skins or all that kind of stuff. There's so much progression and unlockables to work for in Black Ops 6. So if you're the kind of person that likes grinding Call of Duty games and you actually like to have challenges and stuff to unlock and work towards, this multiplayer rendition of Black Ops 6 is amazing. There is a lot of stuff to grind towards, and they've really put a lot of effort into making sure that even though you do keep prestiging, there's a lot of cool stuff to unlock. So one of the cool things is once you sort of build a loadout for a weapon and you level up your weapon, once you prestige, your loadouts will still be there to use, and all of those attachments will be available. All you have to do is level up again to be able to unlock that weapon. So you're not having to progress all of your weapon leveling again. You can still go and use all of your weapons. Once you do prestige, you just have to reach the level that's required to unlock that weapon in the first place. So it's a lot better, and it's not as frustrating. For prestiging feels like a fun thing to do with all of the rewards there, instead of it being a bit of a step back. There's a bunch of new maps in Black Ops 6. They feel pretty straightforward, pretty fluid. I can't really say that there were any maps that I felt frustrated on. They're all super easy to sort of get a hang of, and with a couple games on each map, honestly, it felt like you knew the layout and flow of the maps very quickly. It'll all come down to personal preference, but one of my favorite maps was Low Town. Obviously, with the new swimming, it's pretty cool to be able to sort of jump and dive underwater and do some pretty cool stuff with the swimming there. And the movement mechanics on Black Ops 6 just feel really suited for a map like this. I've yet to play all of the maps, but they all feel pretty decent, to be fair. When it comes to game modes, you got the typical stuff like Control, Team Deathmatch, Domination, Search and Destroy, Kill Confirm, Free-for-all, Hardpoint, Gunfight is back. And then you have this new mode called Kill Order. It's like a normal 6v6, but one player on the team is a high-value target. And that player has plates, like from Warzone, so they're stronger, they have more health. They're harder to take down, but they're always seen on the map at all times and even seen through walls. And the whole objective is to kill the high-value target. And if the high-value target dies, then a new player will respawn as the high-value target. And the game doesn't have rounds. It will just keep going until a certain number of high-value target kills have been reached. It seems pretty fun. Once you get the high-value target, it feels pretty exciting. But besides that, it feels like a pretty normal TDM-style game. Now, I saw one criticism that Black Ops 6 was getting online, that the number of launch weapons isn't as expansive as some other Call of Duty games, and you're not getting as many options. For example, the Riot Shield is not an option in Black Ops 6. But I'll be honest, the selection of weapons in this game feels good, and it's not too much. You know, it doesn't feel like there's any particularly annoying weapons or loadouts that people will just spam and make you frustrated. It seems like they've gone with specific weapons that are core to Black Ops that aren't going to make people get annoyed at the game. So I think it's a decent selection of weapons, honestly. And with all of the challenges and progressions and weapon mastery badges and stuff, there's a lot to unlock and work towards. With all the camos as well, that you're not going to feel bored with this number of weapons, I'll be honest. Alright, now let's talk about zombies. Round-based zombies is back with 2 maps for Black Ops 6. I've had a little play on both maps. Now, I'm not a massive zombies nerd, so I'm not going to go into full detail on what the ins and outs of these maps are. But yeah, it felt good to play decent round-based zombies again. Both maps will have a quest which you can follow. There'll also be like a directed mode that will help you go through the story. I think that'll be released later on, like a day after launch or something like that. There's also a bunch of Easter eggs, which I'm sure all of the zombies YouTubers are figuring out as we speak. Gobblegums are back. And there's a bunch of augments to allow you to boost your weapons and stats, just like in past Black Ops games. So it's looking like a pretty good game if you enjoy zombies. Now, I haven't had a chance to play the campaign yet, and I'm not sure if I really will. I've never been into the Call of Duty campaigns much, but I know that sometimes a good campaign can make or break it for some players. I think Jack Frags was doing a campaign playthrough, so perhaps you can check his live stream out if you want to get a nice look at what the game offers. But yeah, to summarize it all, if you've enjoyed any Call of Duty game in the past 5 to 6 years, then you're going to enjoy Black Ops 6. If you've enjoyed the old round-based zombies experience, you'll enjoy Black Ops 6. If you're kind of a bit bored of Call of Duty and you're kind of hoping that maybe Black Ops 6 will bring some new enjoyment back, I'll be honest, it is still Call of Duty, so you may find yourself getting bored after just a few hours. Because at the end of the day, even with the new omnimovement, it is still just Call of Duty. So I think you'll know the answer yourself whether or not you're going to enjoy this game based on how you've experienced other Call of Duty games in the past. If you're bored of Call of Duty, this one won't change anything for you. But if you enjoyed some elements of Call of Duty in the past 5 to 6 years, then yeah, there's a lot here to offer. Let me know what you think of the game so far if you have played it, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!